Hey guys, here's my Sportsman Touring XP1000. As you can see, I've got a rack on there and I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay, so first of all, you're going to need a rack that fits. Well, they don't make one that fits, so you're out of luck. But if you're good with your hands and good at bending things, you can make the regular rack extender that works for just any, basically any of the Sportsman machines that don't have this, this bin on the front. So I'm going to show you what the number is in case you want to do this yourself. There you go. See that there? It's the part number. If you want to tackle this yourself, I'd like to say it was easy, but it definitely had its challenges, and I was able to make it work, so I'm confident that you can too. So some of the problems, or challenges I'll call them, is that this rack was not bent to fit the contours of this bin. So so I had to bend things in order to make them fit. So I had to tighten this bend up because this one was out further like this. Bend that up, and then bend this out, and then do this, and then cut. I actually cut this because it was too wide on the sides. It was too wide, so I needed to take out 1.5 inches of material here in order to make it fit, so it fit in these grooves here. So 1.5 inches, that's what it took exactly. So you can, if you're cutting it out, that's what you want to do. Once I got it, actually I had to cut it first. So that step one was cutting it so it would fit. And then step two was bending all these things in order to make them fit properly. So this one tight in, because that made that go like that. Then you have to bend it out and then do that to the other side. And but the problem with doing that is it didn't make these bottom pegs sit down on here. They were probably a good 3/4 of an inch high, and floating in the air. So I also had to do a bend here, bend this down, which caused this to go like that. So you had to bend this up. So there's like 4 bends, 4 or 5, no, let's see, 4. 1, 2, then 3, and then 4. 4 bends in order to make this fit. So it takes a little bit of trial and error. You're not going to get it the first or second try, but you'll get it. You just keep tweaking it. Just put them in your vise and tweak them until they fit. You can see I didn't get it perfectly lined up, but it's pretty darn close. And to keep these lined up so that one doesn't go forward or back, I put just a bolt. Just took a bolt that fit almost perfectly in here and put some JB weld on, slid it in, and that's going to keep these so that they don't, in time work apart from each other. Yeah, so there you go. So that's the bends. So once you get all your bends all nice and so that everything's in the correct location, you want to drill some holes. So the main goal of drilling the holes and placing this thing is that, well, you see these 2 screws here? Well, these are in line with the frame underneath. So you want to make sure that these ones are perfectly in line with those, so that you can drill through the frame and this will have something solid to screw into. The one thing with this back one here is that there's not actually frame that goes back that far. So this back one, you're gonna be drilling just through the plastic and fastening this just to the plastic, which this is really thick. So I had no problem with just putting that with a big washer and using that as the support. It is super strong. And the tricky ones are these front ones. You want to be about a 1/4 inch back, or you could go even a little bit more if you want. 1/4 inch to 3/8 back, and make your marks. But you're wondering how I got my marks. Well, I just had it sitting here in perfect location, and then I just took a pencil and went around each one of these, and then drilled a hole dead center in those circles, and then everything lined up perfectly. Took a little bit of manipulation, but we got her. Looking underneath, you can see this is the front. Pretty much dead center of that thing. That's a good shot. This here is my washer. Yeah, I had to get a shorter screw for this. The ones that they give you in the package were too long to use it for this. So I had to get another bolt. And you want to put a big washer on there and a lock washer. Very important to have that lock washer on there. So here are the very front bolts. You can see I didn't quite get it centered, but still it's drilled all the way into the meat, and it is nice and solid. Yeah. So I was wondering about the weight. This is still ultra light. This is not hurting this lid in any way. It is solid. That's not coming loose. So pretty happy with this. When I was using my vise, I kind of marked it up a bit. So you want to make sure to use some cardboard or something so that you're not scratching it. If I did it again, I'd be a little bit more careful that way. Yeah, so there you go. Here's how you get a rack extender on your touring with a bin.